IMPD began issuing body-worn cameras to officers in 2020. Body-worn cameras are designed to increase transparency, ensure accountability, and enhance public trust by effectively using captured video. Additionally, the camera footage can be used to highlight the realities of police work, used in administrative and criminal investigations, and to improve training and policies. Body-worn cameras, while valuable tools, only capture a portion of an officer's field of view. In addition, the body-worn camera video clarity is limited when compared to the human eye. IMPD uses body-worn cameras that are designed to self-activate if certain standards are met. For example, a camera will activate when an officer arrives within 500 feet of a dispatched run, begins to run, violently shakes during a physical altercation. The camera is in a horizontal position for an extended period of time, if an officer activates emergency equipment with his or her patrol vehicle, or if an officer activates the camera by using a remote. The camera is attached to the officer's uniform mid-level in the chest area. The lens is fixed and does not capture everything that is seen and/or experienced by the officer. Once the body-worn camera is activated, it has a 30-second buffer during which the audio is not activated, but the video is. This feature allows video to capture sudden incidents where either the body-worn camera self-activates and/or the officer manually activates it. This critical incident video details an officer-involved shooting that occurred on May 28, 2024 at approximately 9:30 a.m. Preliminary information is being presented in this video with the intention of increasing public understanding of what occurred. This investigation is still in its early stages. It may take a year or longer for the investigative process to be completed. Understanding of the incident may change as additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. Warning: the following video contains graphic images and language. It is not suitable for all viewers. At about 9:30 a.m., IMPD officers responded to a report of an armed carjacking at a gas station in the 2800 block of North Post Road.
Attention East District 54, carjacking just occurred on North Post Road. More to follow.
142, 10 report.
Figure 142, 9 a.m. It's going to be the marathon. 4 subjects in a gray sedan with rear end damage. 1 black male, face mask with a gun, exited the vehicle and took complainant's vehicle. It's going to be a white 2015 Dodge Charger, New Jersey plates. They also took her purse and her phone as well. Unknown direction of travel.
Investigators obtained security camera video, which captured the armed carjacking. After pumping gas, the victim was sitting in the driver's seat of her Dodge Charger when she was approached by a man wearing a mask and armed with a gun. The suspect knocked on her window and pointed the gun at her. The victim later told officers the man said he would shoot her if she didn't give him everything. The suspect forced the woman out of the car and then took her cell phone and disabled it. The suspect vehicle with 3 men inside drove away, followed by the carjacked vehicle. The victim was not injured. Dispatch broadcast a department-wide description of the suspect vehicle and the carjacked vehicle. Shortly after the broadcast from dispatch, Officer Kirby located both vehicles in an apartment complex in the 9100 block of Cavalier Court. As Officer Kirby approached, he observed a man wearing a mask and pink gloves who had a gun holstered in his waistband.
Control 139 rush.
139.
I've got eyes on both vehicles in Cavalier Court. Serving more cars.
Enos to assist 139 Cavalier Court.
150.
150 at 9:30. 139, we're at on Cavalier.
Hold on, one. Still got a gun, about to take off running, I'm sure.
The man armed with a handgun and wearing a mask and pink gloves was later identified as 20-year-old Jarrett Gray, Jr. When Officer Kirby approached Mr. Gray, he fled. Officer Kirby gave Mr. Gray multiple commands to get on the ground and drop the gun. As Mr. Gray approached the suspect vehicle, he dropped a gun. Mr. Gray then picked up the gun and turned in the direction of Officer Kirby. Officer Kirby discharged his service weapon.
Hands up on the ground now! On the ground! On the fucking ground! On the ground! On the fucking ground! We're running eastbound, one of the cars was taking off. On the ground! Drop the gun! Drop it!
Mr. Gray ran towards the suspect vehicle, which was fleeing the area. Mr. Gray picked up an object from the ground and Officer Kirby discharged his service weapon. Mr. Gray dropped the gun and then he fell to the ground. Mr. Gray then makes a motion toward his right calf. Officer Kirby again discharged his service weapon.
Police action shooting. Down Cavalier Court. Drop it! Drop it! Drop the gun! Arms out! Arms out! So I need more cars. The gray car, heavy rear end damage, fled out of the complex. Arms out now! Arms out! Keep your arms out! Arms out to the side. Patrol 139, I've got the suspect down on the ground. He's still got a firearm in his waistband. Stage medics, he's shot.
The following is a portion of the previous video, paused and highlighted. It shows Mr. Gray reaching down for a gun on the ground and turning in the direction of Officer Kirby.
We're running eastbound, one of the cars was taking off. On the ground, drop the gun! Drop it! Police action shooting. Down Cavalier Court. Drop it! Drop it! Drop the gun! Arms out! Arms out!
Additional officers arrived on the scene. The officers approached Mr. Gray and began medical aid. The video has been paused to highlight a second gun recovered from Mr. Gray's waistband.
You have a... I don't know. I got one. Got more. Yeah, he shot me off the side of the head.
Mr. Gray was transferred to the hospital where he was later pronounced deceased. 2 handguns were recovered near Mr. Gray. The firearm on the right had been converted to a fully automatic handgun due to the addition of a machine gun conversion device, which was affixed to the slide of the gun. The suspect vehicle fled the apartment complex after the officer-involved shooting. A short time later, that vehicle was located in the 300 block of North Shortridge Road. Several men were detained in connection with the carjacking. 20-year-old Joseph Dowda was arrested for his role in the armed robbery. The victim's car was recovered. No officers or uninvolved citizens were injured in this incident. This incident is being investigated by IMPD's Critical Incident Response Team. A separate and independent investigation will be conducted by IMPD's Internal Affairs Unit to ensure compliance with department policy. The Marion County Prosecutor's Office is being consulted throughout the investigative process. This incident will be reviewed by the Civilian Majority Use of Force Board. This occurs after the conclusion of the criminal process.